It's a win, guys.
To Oso Spurs.
Come on!
All Spurs fans.
With Rob Daly
South
introing us.
Shelf, Sydney, Seattle,
Yes.
Seoul, and everywhere in between. It's Oso Spurs.
And let's let it finish. Let Rob finish this bit. How much do we need that, boys?
Oh, didn't we?
Also, just a quick welcome to Joe, by the way, who'll be a new face to many, but he's been in the background very much helping us out as a channel, and he's up at 3 a.m. right, Joe, right now to join this.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, thank
Brave
you.
man.
Oh, wow.
Especially with a child who's the age yours is. You'll be woken
Well,
up
yeah,
in
he woke
about
up at
2
2
hours.
last night, so let's hope he doesn't do it again now.
Very good. Yeah. And Stu, a bit opposite. Actually, no, it's a good time of day for you. How are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, good. 8 o'clock in the evening, so a great way to end the weekend. Actually, can't believe we actually won a Premier League game. It's shocking.
Tactical brilliance, pragmatism. Should we start with Spence, though, Stu?
Yeah, my boy Spence. What an absolute brilliant performance. I mean,
what's happened to your boy Destiny, though?
Yeah, you've got to choose between
no,
one.
no,
now.
You've got to choose between. You can't be
not even
cheating on
choice.
both of them.
Vic was always my boy. You know that. No. Spence for me has been the best left back we've played this season by far. It's not even close. Destiny hasn't been the same since the injury, and Spence has just been a revelation. I think since the summer, since the friendlies preseason.
Si, who was your man of the match? Was it Spence?
It's got to be Spence, isn't it? I mean, he was just outstanding. He looked so good on the ball. I mean, there were times where just easily man of the match. Easily man of the match.
Joe, what was your thoughts on the game, mate? You were watching it, I guess, from, I don't know, hidden away quietly, trying to wake up the family at 3 a.m. But did you manage to not wake everyone up in the house when we scored that second goal?
The first goal went in because I had the sound basically low, and it was so bright there that I couldn't tell what happened. So I was kind of confused by no one really reacted for a few seconds, and then so that was interesting. But yeah, no one woke up. The game though, I think we managed it pretty well. Wasn't that what everyone wanted? That wants pragmatism. That exact what just happened then. So yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty enjoyable from my end.
Yeah, it was like before half time. You had all the standard comments like, "Oh, not enough subs, not enough youngsters playing, only doing this because he's forced to." And I was like, "What is a guy supposed to do with 3 senior players on his bench?" He used all 3 of them. Every sub made a positive impact on the game. We were on Dane Scarlett as well, who obviously played all right, but we used our youth where we could to rotate. He has had accusations of not rotating players enough and causing injuries, so he didn't even put Mickey van der Ven in the squad, but he still seems to get criticism. It can just be, well, I don't want to bring a damper on it. It was such a good win. I think we all needed that. Go on, Stu, sorry.
And I'm not 100% agreement with the all subs made a great input. Bergvall, I thought, didn't have a great second half, and I still am puzzled. And maybe there's a reason for an injury, or maybe he's tired. But I was a bit surprised also that Moore was the one who came off. I would have taken Son off, to be perfectly honest, and put Moore on to the left towards Moore's natural position, because Son was invisible first half, and to be honest, didn't get much better the second.
Fair enough. Johnny, haven't really heard from you yet, mate. What did you make of the performance?
I mean, it's a great result, and I think the performance. I think it shows. It shows a mental strength that we've not really seen because of the fatigue, and considering what they've been up against, like maybe the players can handle it better away because they don't have the weight of the crowd on them. I don't know, but it's great. A clean sheet is something that just hasn't happened very often this year, is it? So, like to be able to, I mean, Brentford were very, very wasteful. They didn't play anywhere near their best. I'm not putting a damper on things. I'm so happy that we won. But with being realistic about what we've just seen, they've got to be really disappointed with how they played, and especially when they've had more time to rest than we have. But I think it's really interesting. I don't really know. I'm not like Stu definitely has the upper hand when it comes to tactical or awareness than me. But I don't know what Bergvall did in the second half. I mean, no, you didn't say it was shit, but like I thought it was pretty solid, to be honest with you. And also I do agree with you about Mikey Moore. I would have liked to have seen him staying on a little bit longer, because I thought he was really good in the first half. I mean, considering his age, considering what we've kind of been missing, I thought that he was really looking to put them on the back foot, wasn't he? And making some driving runs into their box and stuff. And again, just the sort of confidence that he has. So that was really pleasing. So there was you've obviously been talking about Spence, who was the standout player for sure. I was nervous as hell with Kinski not having the hat on after what happened to their fella in the first half. Like, I mean, there must be a good reason for it, but I was like, I don't understand why goalkeepers don't wear caps. But I mean, it's just a brilliant result, and to go into the Liverpool game with that sort of little bit of a confidence boost, you know, who knows what? It's nice that's the next one up, because that's the one we've been looking at for so long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Best away defensive record in the league, believe it or not, and Brentford have the best. From teams playing at home, Brentford have the best goal scoring record in the league.
That's right, yeah.
And we kept a clean sheet against them. One of only, I think, like 3 sides to do that. So it just, once again, I think Carragher was left like, I've said that they can't defend. I've said that Ange's only got one plan. I've said that this player's rubbish. I've said, and it all kind of backfired massively in his face. And at the end, he was going, oh, well, yeah, you know, Ange's like basically finally listened to me. You're like, no, you're just such a
he's a bellend.
His comment at the end of the halftime chat when they're going, you know, Brentford's haven't come back to any game they were 1-0 down. And his comment was, well, let's hope Dr. Tottenham show up in the second half. I was just like, what the hell was that about?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I just quickly shout. Go on. Sorry, you guys.
No, go on. I just thought this was a nice one where, listen, we've spoken a lot this season about the fact that we don't win these scrappy games, but we battled through this and we won this scrappy game. Wasn't pretty. You look at the messages in the WhatsApp, and like, you know, halfway through the second half, this is going to be a long half hour. This is a painful watch. This is hard work. Yeah. It was hard work. And Brentford, the momentum up until the last 15 minutes was all Brentford, by the way. They were a bit wasteful, but we hung in, we dug in. We fought, we battled, and we came out the other side of it on a 2-0 win. I thought Gray had a good game as well. He looked a bit shaky the first 10 minutes. He gave the ball away a couple of times. But it doesn't half make a big difference when you've got someone on the right-hand side of your the central pairing that can play the football out, isn't it?
Yeah. He's technically gone. After this, Stu, we need to jump into the members' comments. But
I think it was very helped by the fact, and I think, you know, it's Mr. Underrated is Ben Davies, because having an experienced centre back there to help him, which, you know, with Dragusin has his faults, but also he's young as well. Where here you've got someone with a lot of experience, can coach him through it, and he had a couple of tackles there as well. Ben Davies, he just wasn't holding back. I mean, what an unbelievable player
he is. I got Berbatov like vibes with Gray at some points, by the way, when I was like, oh, just so technically silky on the ball. It made me kind of suddenly have flashes of him. But quick shout out to Sean the Goonerslayer. Thank you so much, mate.
Sean
Absolute
again.
hero.
Yeah.
Mate, I hope you haven't taken a mortgage out to keep our mortgages alive. But if you have, that's very kind of you.
Cheers, bro.
Did you have the right colour face paint on?
He must have had light blue on today. For sure.
You're also married now, so your wife might be checking your... Like
Mrs. Goonerslayer.
Just
big up to Mrs. Goonerslayer.
He says better than OnlyFans. At least it's us. Drew, good to see you, mate. Let's go indeed. Elvis, we're back. If you're named after the other Elvis, I hope we did him proud. We're rocking and rolling. Jedley,
very much.
Take a bow. Barney's, I think he's just mugging off the Ange outers right now. Take it where you can, mate. I agree.
Yeah.
Ridley, that's Ross, I believe. Carragher crying into his bowl of
the scout.
Kem, 40-year-long season ticket holder, legend, never in doubt, Mr. Positive in our comments.
Nice one, Kem.
Also sits in the east, so we must say hello to him as well. So we go to Kem. Buddy Love, hello from Melbourne. Hello, mate.
Big up.
Phil Cornwall, the one that Johnny thought was the actor Phil Cornwall.
You always say that, man.
Never
No,
goes
but
out
Nearly
much.
as reliable as your 17-year-old comments.
Well,
I
Barry
know he's
turned.
not. I know he's not, but I like to still think he is. Maybe.
Oh, you never know. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, Holly's Hotspurs. How are you, Holly?
Hey,
Good to see
Hey,
you.
Hollies.
Thanks for popping in. I know we've got some collab stuff coming up soon.
7
Hopefully, they'll
weeks since we got
come on
a
each
win.
other's shows. Looking forward to that. Glad for Spurs. Hope the start of a real rise in form. Joe, as our guest, my friend, is this the start of a rise in form?
I think it just shows sort of the mentality right now, doesn't it? That, well, I mean, the expectation before the game was it was going to be tough. Like, it would be hard to get a win. And then it was tough. It was hard to get a win. And isn't that just how we should sort of treat the game? Just be happy about sort of going through that, not being too worried that we weren't on top the whole game. But I didn't really feel like we were in danger at all through that game. Other than a few sort of ping pong balls around the box, there was nothing really that was. I mean, Embuemo couldn't get past Spence at all, and then just kicking it over the bar when he got a little chance. But yeah, it wasn't really that scary, really, for me.
Muted myself there. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I thought there was also like a bit of, I think, a misconception. The commentators kept going, Spurs haven't had a shot on target. Spurs haven't had a shot on target. I was like, kind of misleading because they had a few rubbish shots on target. We had about 10 shots blocked that were, very close to the goal. And then there was 3 crosses. There was one from Kulu and one from Moore and one from Porro that just like went through the 6-yard box. And you're like, if Solanke was there or Maddison running in, that game's dead. We've won it. And we just didn't. I imagine those were and those are ones where XG doesn't count because we didn't take the shot. Yeah. But in reality, we had a very dangerous goal scoring opportunity.
There was that one from Porro as well, where he took that shot from that silly angle again, tried to score at the near post when he should have just played it across, and Richie was free at the far post again.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
his decision making sometimes you do wonder, don't you? And that shot he tried on from outside the box as well. Yeah, a couple of screamers go in once a season, but not in that sort of game.
It's going for Liverpool as well. We've got how many players we got back? Is Maddison back? We've got Van der Ven will surely start. Hence he didn't play at all.
Well, that's why he didn't start today, right?
Yeah,
they're rested. Priorities.
Yeah.
So we could have Van der Ven, Maddison, CG back.
I'm not sure he is.
Everything. Yeah, so we're not gonna have Udogie back still. So yeah, it's gonna be a very similar squad then, isn't it? It's gonna be the same as what we had, plus Van der Ven, maybe Romero on the bench just for the psychological lift. Wouldn't surprise you. Oh, so Cy for president, says Alex Griffin.
Nice one, Al.
You reckon you could do it? There's some unrest going on at the moment.
If Alex thinks so, then certainly.
Jed Spence before heading out tonight. Keys, wallet, phone.
Bueno.
And hi, in a coma, one of our newer members. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, guys, it all seems like that was such a calm performance. We don't have much to say about it.
I think also for once, how many times have we rued that we haven't had a bit of luck, or the opposition's had one shot and it's gone in, whereas today they had that gilt-edged chance that every other game this season that's gone in. It's 1-1. We crumble, but finally, Lady Luck's had a look down and thought, I've punished Ange enough.
Yeah. Do you feel Kinski's got a shot of challenging Vicario's duel based on the more recent performances? Are you thinking he's not that level?
I don't think he's done anything wrong. I don't think he's been amazing in the sense I don't think he's pulled off amazing saves, but I don't think he's done anything wrong either. So I think that Vicario is going to have to earn his spot, to be perfectly honest. I would expect the fact that Vicario is in that leadership group that Ange will probably lean towards him. But I think Kinski's done himself proud.
Mm-hmm. Johnny, you might have a different view there. I was watching your expression.
No, I wouldn't really disagree with that, but I suppose it's just, the experience Vicario has, and as Stu said about the leadership, that's probably really significant at this stage. Where were we at especially with the 2 cup matches coming up in the next week. But I think looking at Kinski throughout the games, especially even at the end there, he seems to have settled in really quickly, and he seems to be. Obviously, we sort of said from the very first game, haven't we? But his confidence which is so crucial to a keeper. Like he's not sort of hesitant whatsoever. I really like him. I think he's been a brilliant addition, and at least it's going to be interesting to see how the center half is going to get on, the new center half, because we still are so short in so many areas. Obviously, that's going to change a lot in the next couple of weeks with players returning, but that's obviously contingent also on what happens in terms of the fitness with players who are currently fit. And we've been talking about Porro for I don't know how long. How long can they keep going? But I think Kinski's been a brilliant signing, and I really, really like him. And it's got to be good for Vicario that he's got that sort of genuine contender putting him under a bit of pressure. It's only a good thing.
And even Austin didn't do badly. I mean, he kept the clean
No,
sheet as well.
yeah.
Let's not forget.
Exactly.
Well, according to Physio Room, next month we have Solanke, Romero, Odegaard, Maddison, Udogie, Vicario, Werner, Johnson, all returning.
Quick question for you guys: which one are you most excited to see out of that lot coming back?
Odegaard.
Yeah,
I'd
I just want to see it. Yeah,
same.
Yeah, agree. So would you? Yeah, what happens then to Johnson? Do you think Odegaard is the long term? Is he left wing or right wing? We haven't seen enough of him. Right,
but both, I think, isn't he?
He played on the left at the first 2 games, didn't he? He played on the left, I think.
So what? He would probably rotate with Sonny on the left.
Yeah,
and then
he
you'd
could put
have
pressure on Johnson, couldn't he? Because I think he can play in off the right as well.
Yeah, he can, yeah.
So he's okay. But do you think we still need an attacker this window then? If he's coming back next month, I think you've got to get rid of Werner and just bring in someone else, right?
We need a striker, don't we? I mean, like I know, obviously, we always go back to the days when we had Keane, Berbatov, Pavlyuchenko, and Defoe all at the same time. I'm sure that's right. It's like, come on. Solanke's a massive miss, and you see in a game like today, even just like his ability to hold up the ball, never mind the threat that he carries from a goal point of view. But Richie, I've been far more defensive of him, and but like I know he's only coming back, right? So you got to give him a bit of a break, and he's probably playing a bit more than ideally he would be. But he was so wasteful, wasn't he? Like he didn't have much confidence. Even though that one in the first half when he went looking for a penalty, it's like, come on, mate. That's kind of embarrassing. If that's an opponent, you're really not going to be happy. So you can understand why the Brentford fans were not too enamored by him today. But I think we're really short in that department. There's just nobody else, is there? There's nobody else. I mean, Sonny's that's not his role. So we don't have a backup striker other than Richarlison, whose size has famously made of biscuits, isn't it?
Yes.
So you're saying we need a better Richarlison? You need someone who can play up front and on the wing, but actually do it well.
Well, we'll probably get another injury at some point too in the forward line, even if everyone comes back. I mean, look at Radu. We got Mickey back, and then 30 seconds later, he's out for the year. So probably still need the reinforcement there.
We've just had a signing as well. Alex Disasi from Chelsea. Apparently, we just had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, who, by the way, just show you guys, I asked him to come on and give us a transfer update, and his agent person said €700 for 5 minutes. Madness. We're all in the wrong living. We're all in the wrong living. There you go.
That's the market for you.
Yeah. Amazing.
Well, that'll be you one day, Jimbo.
Yeah, he won't be saying that in 6 months' time, will he?
Exactly.
5 minutes, boys.
Oh,
we could have to pay to get into the VIP at the ground with him. Do you know what I mean? He'll have a red rope around his seat.
Guys, Romano says that Disasi is not accepting the Spurs bid. He's already agreed terms with Villa.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading the tweet right now.
Okay. I can't say I'm massively disappointed, judging by the Chelsea fans' reaction. But
it says Chelsea have no intention to negotiate with Villa, so it's a bit of a strange one.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, like what was his role in our squad anyway? What was it? Is it 5th choice? Is it just like, hey, if the new guy gets injured, then you might get some minutes, but you're just coming on loan. So at least we've got a centre back to play instead of Bissouma if we had to play him.
Romano has just tweeted 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, but it says no. Yeah, exactly. But if you read down, it says he doesn't accept us. He's agreed terms with Villa, but Chelsea have no intention to negotiate with Villa.
Okay, sorry. Yes, that's the beauty of reading the entire tweet.
That's also a little dig from Chelsea at us, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not going to negotiate with direct competition.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that's all about.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're competition for 4th this year, whereas we're not. So
it's true.
It's true. We're not competition for 4th this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Drew Ziller, I should have scrolled further. Laugh out loud. There's another Johnny on the firm there. Look.
We fact check on this pod.
Oh yeah, we're right there. We're right on the money, aren't we?
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, when you've been really desperate to when nature calls and you've just been, that's what I feel about Spurs right now. I just feel like this weird sense of relief, like I've just had my big moment.
I've got a question for all you boys. When we scored the first, did any of you actually sit there and think, yeah, we've got this?
No.
No.
No. Barely celebrated, to be honest.
I didn't celebrate at all.
Yeah. A tiny little.
I think the other thing that's really doing my nut at the moment is this all this grappling in the box. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god!
At least we're doing it though now.
Yeah, we are doing it, but it's
glad
just
we're doing
ridiculous. I mean, if any of that happens anywhere else on the pitch, some of it's almost a red card, picking a player up and throwing him to the ground. And I know it was Bissouma doing it, but then I can't remember the name of their player that got it done to them. He was doing it back and the arms around, lifting people off the ground. It's like a rugby match. It's ridiculous.
It's NFL, isn't it? It's NFL light.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like little phases of play, like doop, and then and it was Lego Head who started the whole thing off, which it was so them to start it off. And now you can watch. It will be end of the season. It will be phased out. There'll be a talk about it end of the year, and they're going to clamp down on it because other clubs are benefiting from it now. But anyway, we looked good on set pieces, I thought, today. Overall, we looked dangerous. We defended them well. I do think that comes as well from Kinski. I don't think he's I don't think he's like maybe as Vicario's level yet, but it's confidence-wise, he is even more confident at set pieces. He's just like desperate for the ball.
Yeah,
he's not afraid to come for it, is he?
No. And even when he makes mistakes playing out the back, he's like, give it to me again. I want to try again.
Yeah.
Which hopefully is going to result in him being an exceptional player. Because he's 6 years younger than Vicario. So you'd think you'd have Vicario.
I think that's why Vic comes back, Jim. That's why Vic comes back as the number one, because he's the senior player. And then you've then got a goalkeeping solution for the next 15 years.
Yeah, you do. And it's the first time I've ever known us to have two good goalkeepers. We went for a long period before Hugo struggling to find one. Like Paul Robinson was good for a couple of years, and he started dropping clangers every 5 minutes. And then we had Brad Friedel for a year.
Yeah. Brad kept Hugo out, didn't he, for a couple of months?
Yeah, for the first 6 months, wasn't
it?
Yeah. And the fact that Kinski, he can distribute well long as well. So that mixes it up a little bit, and it puts to bed that myth about we always have to play out from the back. We always have to, because then Brentford's press, when we started going long a bit, Brentford had to drop their press off, which relieved the pressure on those back too. So it does make a difference if you go long every so often, and if you're accurate with it as well, because he was pretty good with his long balls.
Mahesh, good to see you, mate. Kulu has moved back into midfield. Lesson learned from the Leicester result. Yeah, I think we all agree Kulu is just great in midfield.
Yeah, you could tell the first half he was a bit rested. He's using his body extremely well. He's holding everyone off.
Does it?
I thought he was the best player the first half, but Spencer's full game sort of got it from him in the end. But the way he was holding up, that's why I thought Mikey Moore came off, to be honest, because I thought he wanted to have that happening further up the field. So, but it didn't work out that way. But that's why I assumed it was. And I guess Mikey looked a little bit young in that game, I felt too. I thought he was good, but there was a moment where he got pushed over in the box and he just looked like a young kid. So maybe that's why he brought him off. But yeah.
As Deed would say in that moment, he'd go, "That's because he is." But he like, we have to have that in mind sometimes. Like, yeah, he is a kid, like a very, very good kid who needs like a bit of patience until he's going to reach his full potential. But I agree, like Kulu can floor a player without touching them or even looking at them. Like,
that's
so
where he's got
the ball and they just like collapse in a heap.
He's got to touch the Dembele's about him, isn't he? I mean, we don't want to keep making comparisons to the new Musa, but in that sense, the way that he uses his back and he backs into people and creates himself that half a yard of space to turn and go, it's very much that sort of midfield. And Dembele did that superbly, and Kulu's got a bit of that about him as well.
Did. Howard, mate, good to see you as always. Our history suggests we need a full squad of centre-backs. But this raises the question, though, are we just always going to have to live with the fact that while we have Mickey van der Ven, you're never going to have a pairing you can expect to play every week if you're playing midweek? So
maybe.
does that increase the need for a third, this extra centre-back to add the one on top of Dragus, so the fifth centre-back? So you've almost got like a starting three that rotate.
We've got 6 players that can play at centre back now, though. We've got the new boy. We got Archie Gray. We got Davis. We got Dragu, and we got the 2 starters. I mean, technically, Davis and Archie, they wouldn't be a first choice clearly, but they've proven today they can do a job. Yeah. So you've got 6 centre halves that you can choose from there. You've got 4 to choose from, 6 that could cover.
Yeah, but do we actually only have, going into the summer, are we going into the summer with 1 centre-back? And let me explain that, maybe 2. Because Romero, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a high probability he might go. If someone like Real Madrid guffs in his direction, I think he's downing tools and he's off.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so you're then going, okay, you've got Mickey, who's injury prone and probably can't play, because we'll be playing in the Champions League because we've won the Europa League, right? So we've got to have a plan for that. And then you've got Ben Davies, who's really a left back, who does very well deputising at centre back. So we've only really got kind of Mickey, who can't play every week, and then this new guy, because Dragusin doesn't seem to fit the system. So I'm kind of thinking, do we need to go big in the summer for a centre back potentially, or does that depend if Romero is sold?
Do you think we've gone for this Danso on the basis that Romero is quite possibly off?
That's what I'm starting to think.
Then you go for another centre, because I think you're right, Jim. If Romero goes to Madrid, you want another centre half, because you've only got 3, if you like, starting centre halves, and you want 4, and then you've got 2 that could cover in an emergency behind that. But if he goes, it leaves you with 3. You want 4, so maybe you dip into the market there. But I would suggest looking at the clip that you did, Jim, that little 5-minute on Danso. He's looks like he's an ideal Romero replacement in terms of aggressiveness, tackling. But he's faster than Romero from the looks of it as well. His speed's a lot better. So maybe that's in the mind that, if Romero does nip off in the summer, then there's a ready-made replacement there. Dragu still learns his trade in behind, because he's only 22?
23, I think.
22, 23. And then you bring another one in behind that, maybe. Yes, for sure. And Howard's just chipped in. Vuskovic is coming in.
Vuskovic is coming.
True. The lad. Yeah, let's say, and Phillips as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Phillips is still there, but Vuskovic is having a great season in Belgium, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
But do we think that the best thing for his development is to sit on the bench?
No.
Or to go out on loan? Personally, I'd send him out on loan.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what foot is he left-footed? Or is he right-footed?
Not sure.
I think he's right.
Because we are getting heavy to the right side of our defense too.
Wasn't Ange said he doesn't seem to mind that, like, for some reason? I agree. I feel way more comfortable with a Vertonghen or a Van der Ven type centre-back on the left-hand side than I would of 2 Romero types trying to play together. But he apparently doesn't seem to mind. That's what
I guess it depends on the player himself. Some players can just do it comfortably. So if it's that guy, it's that guy.
Sean the Gooner Slayer, mortgage rates are cheap here, guys. My wife earns more than me. Brilliant.
Legend.
You are what do you call them? So you're a gold digger, are you, Sean? That's what I'm trying to say.
He's showbiz, isn't he? He's showbiz.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, bloody hell, Arsenal scored.
Already?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'll bring it down. Well, come on, mate. We
don't mention the A word on here.
That lot down the road, I think you mean.
Yeah. That lot down the road. Doesn't even count now, our win, does it?
Those mugs. Those South London mugs. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and God.
The reason they're winning is wages are too low. Our wages are too low. That's why Arsenal are winning. No ambition. Drag us in like 22.
Yeah.
He's
right. And J-Med, he's played way more than ever was planned for him this season, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. He was meant. Load of these players at the same. Okay, where do you guys like? I think Stu and you're somewhere in the middle of my extreme happy clappy view on this. To where the frothers are. My view is Ange has, apart from Spence, yes, you were right. Apart from Spence, Ange has utilised, and even Spence is probably a bad example here. That's an example of a player that could have been rotated in sooner, but he's not younger than Udogie, so this doesn't really count in this conversation. But I thought Ange, there's no example I can think of where Ange wasn't using the kids sooner when he should have. I can't think of any example of this senior player should have been dropped for Elise.
Lancashire at Tamworth.
So, but where I'm going with this is the only examples I get are ones like that. Where I'm like, yeah, but Lancashire might be good enough. He might not be. We don't know. There was that 30 minutes against that side here or there. But then the narrative at the moment is and this is in another group I'm in, the Spurs talk show group I'm in. Someone said in there to me, the kids are bailing Ange out. I was like, what do you mean they're bailing him out? And they were like, well, he's only played them because he's been forced to, and they were better than he thought they would be, and he didn't choose them, and he didn't want them, so it doesn't count. I was like, it just makes my head hurt having to have a conversation with people who have that.
Kids?
Well, apparently Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall.
So Archie Gray, he signed off on. Bergvall, he insisted on keeping in the squad and said get it sent out on low. And Moore, he promoted to the first team squad.
Yeah.
I think we're all aligned on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe the flip side of that is maybe he's been forced into giving them more Premier League time than ideally he would have done if he'd have had a full fit squad. Yeah. They would have been getting minutes, but maybe not. They wouldn't have been starters like they have been. But then now that you've seen them start, they're going to be pushing for starting places when the full timers come back.
Even when you look at the bench in the Europa League the other night, like those names, like I don't know if it's Thomas Hardy, but I'd like to think that it's Thomas Hardy. But you see his name there all the time. Casanova, love to see the name Casanova.
What a name!
Like, apart from those boys, pretty much all the other fellas that I'd never heard of before have kind of got on for a few minutes. Like 16 and 17-year-olds coming on, and like that, there's no way that would have happened. But actually, like it is something that is definitely a gain from the situation we're in. And definitely wouldn't have been putting them on in a million years before, because you did see them occasionally on the bench, but they were just like there because you put a name down, weren't they? They were never going to be playing sort of earlier on in the season. But I mean, it's been encouraging because you remember whenever Ange came in early last year, he was sort of talking about the academy, and he was quite sort of derogatory, actually, wasn't he? When he was talking about the players that are coming through, he didn't seem to be very impressed at that stage, which is probably fair enough, because really, he's right. Who has there been, who's actually stayed since Harry Kane, Winksy and Skippy? That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I'd love to see. Right, see Casanova getting called on to warm up, and they pan to him on the bench, and he's just got loads of women around him. He's like, I've got to go and warm up. Just wait for me. Wait for me after the match. I'll be by the tunnel. Don't worry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Si, I wish I saw the world through your eyes. It's quite funny.
No,
Sit there
no,
laughing
mate.
to yourself.
No, you don't.
Actually, no, I don't. I don't want to see the dark side.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
That happens quite a lot. I'll just sit there and laugh, and she'll be like, "What now? What are you thinking? You don't want to know."
Oh, God. But it involves you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But guys, look, it was a beautiful win. I do need to jump shortly for
man.
some family commitments. I'm sure you all do too on this beautiful. We're all in different countries. So this is awesome.
I've got more boxes to back as well. So
we've got England, Ireland, Australia, Switzerland, and Dubai all on the same call. How cool is that? All cool as that. And we're all massive Spurs fans, and that's just a complete coincidence. But you're all a bunch of tourists, apparently. So I'm the only real fan. That means,
yeah,
you're all a bunch of tourists. You're why our atmosphere isn't any good, and you're why you can get away with not spending enough money. Anyway,
I never make any sound in the stadium, and I never like look at myself in the mirror the next day and think I was sitting in front of a 10-year-old.
You just fly over for the club shop, don't you?
I fly over to the club shop every time.
Oh yeah. Can't keep me out.
As soon
as I land, it's an Uber straight to the club shop.
Those 100 euro, 100 sterling jerseys. Oh my god.
There we go.
But up the Spurs, guys.
Spurs.
It was beautiful.
Spurs. Up the Spurs.
Yes.
Let's
Roll
go.
on the semi-final. And just a last caveat.
Ooh.
Enjoy the semi.
Enjoy your semi.
Story of my life. And also enjoy your
Didn't see that
semis.
coming.
But also, on a separate note, enjoy the game against Liverpool on Wednesday, isn't it? Thursday?
Wednesday. Is it Thursday?
Yeah, the Goons game's Wednesday.
A cup final is a rarity. It's a privilege to be in one. Most fans of most clubs don't get them every 5-10 years, let alone what we seem to get in every 2 or 3 years. So when they come around, soak it in and enjoy it and just make the most of it, because it is awesome, isn't it, guys? But up the Spurs. Right, see you guys for the next one. We'll be back on.
Welcome to Oh So Spurs. Calling all Spurs fans.
That's the intro, not the outro.
Stand, the
I
Shelf,
did it wrong, but you have to make
Sydney,
do of it, Johnny.
Seattle, Seoul, and everywhere in between.
Oh, Johnny.
Are we waving to the
So
public?
We're waving goodbye. We're waving goodbye. Capping us off. We're doing a little walk around the stadium.